A drafter day keeps the FPL doctor away. Hello, FPL doctor here, and today I am really saddened to diagnose you with the big red arrow. And this is the Game Week 1 to Game Week 3 early wildcard draft. Oh dear, you never want to receive that awful news from the FPL doctor in Game Week 1, do we? That would in fact be pretty, So we best keep on daily drafting until we find the right team for you. Where today we're actually going to be a bit of a cheeky boy, right? And gone for the Game Week 1 to Game Week 3 early wildcard draft, which looks a little something like this. I don't know why I already do this, because it's already there. There you go. Where the idea of this draft is you only look at the first 3 fixtures of the season, and then you can whap out your wildcard just after that. Make sure if you are going to whap it out, don't do it in public. I think that's illegal, yeah? The reason being we're only looking up to Game Week 3 is that is when the first international break of the season is happening, and also is when the transfer window closes as well. And actually, if you look at historic data for FPL players that do very well, they actually wildcard very early as well. So maybe targeting could be the thing to do. Well, that's what we're looking at today. That being because you can be a bit risky at the start, right? And if it pays off, you get all the points, but then you can just wildcard into some of the best cheap gems around and you just have a much better team. So let's now get our magnifying glass out, right? And browse at the team, discussing if this is actually a good idea to do for you. We're in goals. We've gone for Pickford. Wait, hang on. I think Bacon Boy is actually losing now. He's suggesting Pickford. What? But now, the main reason for that is, I feel like Rafa can get quite a few clean sheets at the start of this season, whilst he does also play the attacking teams in Southampton, Leeds and Brighton all in the first 3. So I reckon that is actually a very good opportunity, not just for clean sheets, but for all of the saves as well, which, you know, is the perfect thing for FPL goalkeepers. And hopefully Pickford can actually save my own credibility for putting him in this team, yeah. But the main reason I've gone for him is because the alternatives that do have 3 great fixtures at the start, with the likes of like a Dean Henderson or an Emi Martinez, I just feel like they're not going to concede as many shots, which might be safer for a clean sheet, but lower ceiling overall for the goalkeeper points, I reckon. Yeah. So the goalkeeper T-Rex man himself is our man here. Then in defence, we've gone for the crossing fetish man, Sir Trent, Matty, who can target all the points at the start, and also a Jolie Veltman, the forgotten man who can brighten up your day. I like that one, yeah. I would honestly probably yeet Trent in my team, even if he had bad fixtures at the start, but the fact that his attacking potential actually turns me on, and the fact he does have great fixtures, he has to be in. Matty Target is also here to get at those 3 great Villa fixtures at the start, playing 2 promoted teams and a Newcastle first. Where the reason I've gone for him over a Martinez is not only because he's cheaper, but I think there's more chance of him getting attacking returns in this game than Martinez getting saves and bonus, just because the other team's attacks just aren't as good. And then Veltman, the player who will probably be playing wing back for the Brighton, or if not, play in defence anyway, where the Brighton and Vibe Albion themselves just have a very good defence, right? So in their first 3 games, which are pretty good as well, I reckon they're good enough to get all the clean sheets in there, and maybe Veltman can get on some attacking returns as well. The key point with defenders here, especially with Target and Veltman, you probably don't want to keep them long term, right? As Veltman might be a bit of a rotation risk later on, Target's fixtures turn very wibbly wobbly and not very good after. But if you are wildcarding early, you can attack the 3 best earliest fixtures, which in my opinion, I think are these for the defenders. And then after that, you don't have to worry about the games or rotation or any of that, as you can just wildcard them out anyway. So that is absolutely fantastic. But then we move up the field to the midfield with all of the juicy boys incoming, where we've got the Marcelo, the new boy Jadon Sancho for a little bit of, add a little bit of spice, yes. The Algerian prince Riyad Mahrez, and also Emi Buendia, Emi Bueno. Oh, I really want a Bueno now. Cheers, Buendia. Oh, come on. Salah could honestly be a captain in all 3 weeks, but probably just the first 2. And also, it's Mo Salah, like, do I really need to argue that? No. Jadon Sancho is here because if you aren't looking long term, I think it is worth a punt right at the start, right? Just because if you're just looking at the first 3 and you captain Salah in the first 2, then why not spread out the money and you can get some other nice players, especially like the next guy we're about to talk about, where we have a Mahrez. Very nice. Now, Mahrez had no international duties over the summer, unlike the rest of the Euros, boys, right? Where almost all of the other Man City wingers did. So Mahrez, wow, amazing, nailed. So he is probably almost guaranteed to start the first game week and probably likely to start the second game week, which is definitely much more important because they play Norwich. Now, Man City versus Norwich, and you don't really know who's going to start, yeah, that's going to be an oh dear. But with what we just said, Mahrez very much could start both of those games and maybe even start the games after. Wow, that is amazing. But the only concern with Mahrez is long term. You don't want to have a player that expensive getting benched all the time, right? But again, if you're only targeting the first 3 fixtures where he should be more nailed because of other players not getting a rest, then he could actually be the perfect choice and a perfect example that how this strategy could work out. As you can just wildcard into a safer team after this, but you profited from his early points. Lovely. And then Buendia is here, helping Norwich get promoted, but already left to join the Villa, playing the other 2 promoted teams in his first 3 games. He will also probably want to be a villain in this game, as he might be the main creative asset for Villa right now, as Grealish looks like he's leaving, oh dear. So if you're looking at just the first 3 games, as you're going to wildcard after, right? Yeah, have I mentioned that? Yeah, that's the point of the video. He has got to be up there for one of the best midfielders to start with, no matter a price, just because of the fixtures, and also the fact that he could be the main man at Villa now. And that is the midfield done. Quite damn risky, you might say, and I would usually never suggest a team like this for game week 1, unless you're wildcarding early. Oh, what a coincidence, eh? Where if you are going for a team like this and you're 100% you know you're going to wildcard, you might as well just target those best fixtures, not worry about some other players. And also, it is much more worth it to get in some good quality players in there. As like I said, if it's only for the first 3 and you're not going to captain Bruno, then yeah, spread it out. But if you were likely to keep the team for longer, then yeah, Bruno in. But for this example, maybe Bruno out. Maybe that's how you can look at it. But then we forward on to the forwards and the final players in this team. We have Eddie Cavani, Oliver Watkins, and the walk-in protein shake man, Antonio. Give it to Eddie Cavani. Watch out, Robin, boys, right? Because Mr. Cavani, pew, he's going for it, right? He loves the bow and arrow. Cavani is a player that if he could play every week in the Premier League, he honestly could be golden boot territory, right? He's that good of a goal scorer. So if there was ever a time he could get a week rest in between games and no European competition, maybe he could be an amazing asset. Wait, that's like the start of the season. Whoa, get him in. So with that rest he could have at the first few games, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't start every game and maybe even play the entire game. Why not? So with that said, in this team, if you don't have to worry about it after, he could be the perfect player and the perfect example of how this strategy could work, right? Right at the start, less rotation, you can get him in, and then after that, you can get in some more safer players and use the extra information you've gained from the first few weeks to get a much more balanced and amazing team. Lovely. Ollie Watkins is here, much for the same reason as Buendia, as those first 3 fixtures are proper nipple-flicking good, aren't they? Oh, amazing. And I reckon I could see all the goals happening there. But also, again, fixtures turn proper wibbly-wobbly after that, but with this, you don't have to worry about it. Hey! And then finally, Antonio! There's lots of question marks going around at West Ham and how they're going to approach the Europa League and rotation and all that, you know? And especially if they sign a new striker or whatever, yeah, Antonio would be a massive risk, right? Not only from rotation, but also injury in his case as well. So the good thing about this strategy is you can properly attack those first 3 games, not having to worry about long-term injuries and all that, where he will be playing the likes of Newcastle, Leicester and Palace at home. Lovely. And then coincidentally after that is when the Europa League kicks in. So you can jump off him and go for whatever other players you fancy. Lovely. And that is the strike force done. All of the golassos incoming, where I really wouldn't be surprised if these 3 are properly up there for goals, especially at the start of the season, because they've get their rest. Lovely. Whilst most other FPL players that aren't planning on wildcarding early might not like a Cavani, might not like an Antonio just because of that risk factor long term, you know, but with this, you don't have that. So why not go for it where you can really profit at the start and then also jump on all the best guys after that and you're just amazing. And that is the beautiful thing about the strategy, right? You target the best fixtures at the start. You don't have to worry about long term at all. And there's just a lot of things in the season we don't know yet. How are Wolves going to play? How are Everton going to play under Rafa? All of these things we just don't know yet, yeah? So with this, you can profit short term off all of the amazing fixtures, and then after, use all the information we've gained to just get in a much better and well-rounded team, maybe even some of the cheap gems in there, which could be great for the rest of the season, which no one else has yet because we haven't fully discovered them. So that is the team done. And the question is, will I go for something like this? Will Bacon Boy actually be teased by it, you know? And you know what? It's almost tickling my pickle, but I'm not too sure. I'm a little tempted, but probably not. Where in this team, we are targeting the likes of Villa, United, and even a Man City player in here, but then also ignoring the likes of Leeds and Everton, who could do well at the start, right? But there's some uncertainty there because of the fixtures might be difficult. You don't fully know the tactics, the player selection, all that, you know? But with this, we can ignore them for now and then wildcard them all in after when their fixtures turn much better anyway. Lovely. But you know what? I thought I'd take this one step further and actually show you a potential wildcard team for Game Week 4 after this. So that very thing I've whipped up looks something like this. Now, obviously, it's very, very hard to pick out and find the very cheap gems right at the start, yeah? Because we haven't discovered them yet. They might not even be in the league yet. It could be some future transfers as well. But I thought I'd at least try and build one just to use it as an example, as a talking point, you know? Where right here, we've gone for the triple leads, who, yeah, do play Liverpool in Game Week 4, not very good, but have very sexual fixtures after that. We also have a double Arsenal with a Tierney and Smith Rowe in here, where maybe we weren't quite sure if Smith Rowe was going to be the main creative man, but now we found out he is. Hey, he's in. And we've also got some Wolves players chucked in there, with their fixture swing going very, very nice in Game Week 4 as well, along with that information of knowing how they play it and knowing if it's worth investing. And the best part, we've even treated ourselves with a 5-star dessert. And after the night, we've gone to our very own Pookie party. Where, hey, we got Pookie in here. Lovely. As you know what, Norwich's fixtures Game Week 4 after are amazing. Not many people are talking about that. Watch out for that, all right? Yeah. So all of these players could go on and do very, very well, not just the next few weeks, but for the rest of the season, hopefully, as you have a better understanding of how teams play, and you could probably create a much better team than you could in Game Week 1, just because you found some of the cheaper players that are playing, but also you kind of know the quality of the other teams as well. So that is all stuff that sounds amazing, and you know what? This strategy could be the one for you. But that is going to be it for today. The Game Week 1 to Game Week 3 early wildcard strategy, which could fruit shoot you up all the ranks right at the start, right? But then also maybe help you retain that position and keep on pushing with all the best players just after that. Play your cards right, and this could be the very strategy to not just do well in FPL, but win it. Wow. But thank you all for watching. Let me know if you would be teased by this. Would you do this yourself? Let me know. Be honest here, yeah? But thank you all for watching, and remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.